Screamers, Lewis here from Fright Tour. I'm back with another video review, and this time I'm keeping it close to home. Traveling only about 45 minutes away to a haunt located in Newtown, just over the border of Pennsylvania, I find myself back at it. I was there in 2015 and 2016, so it's time to update that old, decrepit written review that I have and give it a brand new, shiny video review. Because let's face it, I cannot have written reviews anymore. Fright Tour is all about the truth on video. So if you love my reviews and you love this channel, it is time for you to subscribe and, of course, ring that bell. When you ring that bell, you are notified of every truthful review that I come out with of attractions from Maine down to the Virginias. If you live in any of these areas, it is imperative for you to follow this channel because I will tell you where the best scream for your buck is. I will tell you the scariest attractions in the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe and, of course, ring that bell. Sleepy Hollow Haunted Acres is located just north of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and during a normal year, they offer up 3 attractions, including a haunted hayride, a haunted house, and a haunted cornfield. But due to COVID, the hayride had been canceled, and those of you who have been following me for years know that hayrides are nothing more than just pure entertainment for me. If I had fun on them, I love them. If I get scared on them, I love them even more. But out of all the tours I've done, there's maybe only a few hayrides that have actually gotten under my skin. The one at Sleepy Hollow actually isn't that bad. It's pretty entertaining. So I wasn't that upset that we weren't going to get to do it. The house and the field were enough for me. So after grabbing our tickets, we made our way over to the front of the line for the Hollow, which used to be House in the Hollow, which, by the way, in 2015 was our Haunted House of the Year. Yes, that is when we used to single out one attraction within attraction as being the scariest and the best. It was rather confusing because there really wasn't any difference between haunted attraction and haunted house. People got confused. So now all we do is we award Fright of the Year, which is an overall venue award, and it's our most coveted, prestigious award. But yes, House in the Hollow, now known as the Hollow, is an award-winning haunt. So let's get to it, guys. Let's talk about the Hollow. First off, if you've never had the chance to experience the Hollow, then you have no idea what you are missing. Visually, aesthetically, this is probably one of the most perfect haunted houses I have ever been to. It's kind of like Disney had a baby. Take the Haunted Mansion, remove the carts, remove the track, put people on foot, and that's exactly what you have. This house is jaw-dropping. It is inspiring. It is magical. It is whimsical. I know that those are words that are tough to swallow when describing a haunted house, but it's true. The house is full of so much detail, so much immersive scenery. It has some of the best scenes I have ever seen. You are literally thrown into a world of theatrics and a world of scares with this haunted house. It is really top notch. So going into it, I had really high hopes, high expectations for it because I know what it's capable of. And without any further ado, let's get to it, shall we? So after being ushered into the first scene of the night, I can't give any details away, but I will say that you will be, figuratively speaking, slapped in the face, knocked and rocked off your feet with this scare. It is so intense, so in your face, so unexpected, and so damn downright scary that I had set the bar high for the rest of the house based off of this initial scare, because that's what kind of sets the tone, is the first scene. And that first scene was just ridiculous. I can't give it away just in case they don't change it for next year, because I would be ruining a lot of good screams for you guys, but it is just so intense. Literally slapped me in the face. The rest of the house, the first portion of it, kind of follows a theatrical storyline where you are led from room to room, where actors act out skits and scenes, and the group in front of you leaves the room in front of you as you enter that room. So you're not supposed to see anything as you open the next door. But unfortunately, okay, we had a really, really slow moving group in front of us. So when we opened that door to go into the next room after the scene we just witnessed, we kind of saw everything reset. We saw the actors resetting. We saw some of the props, some of the scenes resetting themselves. So it kind of just took away from what we were about to experience because we had kind of seen where everything was coming from. The rest of the house, once you're past a specific point, and that's the boiler room, the rest of it is pretty on par, pretty straightforward with a typical haunted attraction where you're walking through a maze-style layout. That boiler room scene is really where everything kind of hit the fan with us. We got caught up in a bottlenecked area with a group behind us and that really slow moving group in front of us. Throughout the entire rest of the attraction, unfortunately, everything was completely kind of ruined for us because of this shuffling, really slow moving group. And it got me thinking, you have a theatrical haunted house. You really want the theatrics to work. For me, what didn't work with it was the dispatch times between groups. It was too quick. You have to factor in the fact that you are going to have a group of 6 or a group of 7 moving slower than a group of 3. I know that if you're really, really busy and you have a long line that you want to get done and get in and out as quick as possible, but when you've made a masterpiece like what the Hollow is, you want it to be what it is. You want the point to come across. You want the house to be effective. And for us, the theatrical aspect with the timing of groups completely ruined the experience for us. We saw everything coming. We knew where everything was because of this really slow moving group. For me, what I would say is if you are going to do this, maybe do timed tickets. Maybe offer RIP more. When we were at the ticket booth, no one was mentioning or trying to upsell the RIP ticket experience, which gets you to the front of the line. And for me, I think that with more people in the RIP line versus the regular line, you would have an even balance of people moving through the haunted house and being able to slow down the dispatch time in a house that is meant to be immersive, intimate, personal, because that's what this attraction is. And with the amount of people that it's pushing through in one time and the amount of time in between groups, it really didn't work. It lost what it was meant to do for us. We know what this attraction is capable of because we've experienced it twice before, but I can't base my review off of past experiences because there have been some subtle changes to the attraction. And if this is a continuing thing, then from my honest opinion, the house is ruined. You've ruined what you've set this house to do by making it so many groups within a short amount of time. Slow it down. Maybe go to a time ticket situation. Maybe offer more RIP tickets to people, upsell them, because for me, it was a little too fast. The group behind us caught up and we caught up with the group in front of us, and then it was pretty much a conga line and the group in front of us wouldn't move. I actually got to the point where I told them, could you walk faster? Because you're kind of ruining it for us. By the end of the attraction, they were speeding off, okay, out the exit. So it was really a shame because we know what this house is capable of, and this group really ruined it for us. So if you are going to Sleepy Hollow Haunted Acres for the rest of 2021, or even next year, now after watching this review and it's on your sites, I would suggest waiting until there's hardly anyone in the line so that way you can experience it in full detail, the immersive, intimate, and personal way that it should be experienced, especially considering the amount of theatrics, detail, and scenery that goes into this attraction, this masterpiece of attraction, because that's what it's intended for. That's how it should be experienced. After the Hollow, it was time for us to make our way across the farm to the field, and what I had learned in the beginning of the night at the ticket booth is that the creator of the Hollow also created the field this year. Now, it kind of got me wondering, is the theatrical aesthetic going to be following to the field as well? Are there going to be scenes where actors are acting out these intense scenes throughout the cornfield? Because in my honest opinion, you don't need to do much to a cornfield because they're already creepy as all hell. So I was getting very anxious and very nervous for this. I didn't want it to be ruined because I love a good cornfield. But yeah, we made our way right over to the field and we began our walk through this dark, creepy cornfield. Overall, the field was actually a pretty decent haunt. It was dark, it was creepy, it was long. It was really, really quiet in the field, and that added a whole new level of creepiness because I don't know about you, but when it's really quiet, my ears start to play like tricks on my mind. I think that I hear something and then I turn and there's nothing there. So it was really, really nice to finally experience a cornfield at times, which was just a cornfield. But then there were really nice scenes inside. There was the marionette stage, there was the plague, there was like this pallet maze that we had to walk through. There were a lot of static props scattered along the walkway, which to me felt a little too wide. I would narrow it a bit and bring everything in closer to us. That would definitely add a whole nother level of creepiness. But these static props were in darkness. Like they didn't have lights on them, which added to not knowing if they were real or if they were fake. And there were scarecrows. There were like wrapped up dead people like hung on stakes. There were these like weird, creepy, white hooded I don't know. They looked kind of like the people from like Apostle on Netflix with like the blue eyes and the red smiley face. It was just really, really creepy. I was waiting and waiting and waiting for one of them to be real, and not one of them actually moved. This is what I mean, like with the dead spots. Like there were a lot of dead spots in the haunt where there should have been an actor versus where the actor was placed elsewhere. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like there might have been like too many actors in the plague. You could have put one like over where like these hooded figures were and made the scare there like so much more intense. That's just my opinion. But I feel like if you had maybe spread out some of the actors and then maybe brought the corn in a little bit, making it not so wide, this would actually be probably one of my top haunts of the year because it just was so creepy. It was so dark. It was so quiet. Your footsteps, the rustling of leaves, these sounds beyond where you were that you were hearing of others getting screamed scared you. It was so good. And at the end, for the first time in a long time, guys, I actually got scared by a chainsaw. Because of how quiet it was and how perfectly this guy started up his chainsaw, it scared the bejesus out of me. I said that word, bejesus. It scared me to death. I literally hopped, skipped, and jumped out of that house and ran through the exit because it scared the crap out of me. So bravo to you with the chainsaw. You got me. Bravo to you. Overall, Sleepy Hollow Haunted Acres was actually a pretty good time. The Hollow itself kind of started the night off wrong for us with the dispatch times in between groups, how busy it was, and the really slow-moving group in front of us mixed with the theatrics. It just didn't work, and it kind of took away from the overall attraction. If you're going to go, get there early in the year, maybe wait until later in the night when there's no line, or go closer to Halloween. I would expect their lines to be shorter then, because the Hollow itself is meant to be immersive. It's meant to be intimate. It's meant to be personal. And with someone who is sending in groups very, very frequently, and with a slow-moving group mixed with the theatrics, it just loses that punch. It doesn't do what it was built to do. And exactly that is what happened to us that night when we were there. The field actually was the better of the two. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it was dark, it was creepy, it was quiet. It was really nice for an attraction to actually be used in its original form, meaning just a cornfield. So I really, really enjoyed it. What I would recommend is that if you can't do the Hollow closer to the end of the night, or you're there at a really, really busy time of the year, wait for the field. Do that last because, like I said, it has a really nice punch, a better oomph than the house. But overall, Sleepy Hollow Haunted Acres is going to receive a 3 out of 5 skulls for me. Yes, I'm dropping the rating down from 4. I know, tragic, but I just can't overlook what happened that night with us at the Hollow. It's just so upsetting to me because I know what that house is capable of, but I can't review it off of past years. I have to review it on the year that I visited it. And I visited it in 2021, and that's exactly what happened. So we have 2 more places to go this year, guys. I will be going up to New York. I will keep it home in New Jersey, very close to home. We'll be going to Asbury Park and then Monroe. It's time for you guys to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, of course, follow our Instagram feed, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell. Until next time, guys, happy screaming.